Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
If you were there, we just experienced the flow of awe being made available to us. But you see, wherever you are, there is your awe. You just have to open your eyes and mind, and you'll see it. I feel very fortunate because many times I will find myself experiencing something that is breathtaking, gets my attention. Maybe it's been there all the time, but it's as if I'm experiencing it for the first time. And in that first time, I am caused to feel it as it affects me. So I'm glad I can be affected. So some people call awe a nebulous emotion. Some say it's a sense of wonder about the world about us, or perhaps the experience of something mysterious or beyond words, something larger than yourself. It has been said that it's palpable and visceral. It's a visceral feeling of emotion, and it's intense, that causes it to be alluring and often ineffable. A feeling of holy otherness, characterized by vastness, which evokes spaciousness, openness, the imagination, and wonder. And it's there for all of us, but you see, our bodies react differently in response to awe than perhaps any other experience emotionally. It's other than surprise, it's other than joy, and we make different sounds with awe and facial expressions. Awe puts daily stressors into perspective, and it boosts creativity. If you've ever experienced awe, and then you find yourself wanting to somehow or another maybe duplicate it or be stirred to create because of your experience, you know what I'm talking about. And you also know that it does enhance moods. Studies show that awe can help calm the nervous system. It can reduce inflammation and bring people together through a shared sense of community. Take this now and consider it with the way they've phrased it, collective effervescence. Moving in unison. When we walk, we dance, we sing, we pray, or meditate in unison, our neurons begin firing in a similar pattern. Hormones like cortisol, oxytocin, and dopamine, they begin to sync up, and there's a certain synergy and energy in the group collective. It would seem few things are better for body, mind, and being than a good dose of awe. You know, though people may differ in the kinds of spiritual experiences they have, spirituality is a powerful way to encourage the mind expanding emotion of awe. While in Paris at a conference, Jane Goodall visited Notre Dame. She sat in the stillness of the cathedral, and organ music filled the vast space. She wrote, "It was as if the music itself was alive." That moment, a suddenly captured moment of eternity, was possibly the closest I ever come to experiencing ecstasy, the ecstasy of the mystic. I can recall times of going into cathedrals in different cities, and for the first time, kind of like being overwhelmed with the vastness of the space itself. And then, if they did play organ music, truly, it does seem as if the music comes alive. And then for this woman, later in years, she had another experience of awe, though in a different setting, the rainforest in Tanzania. After traveling up a mountainside one morning with a family of chimpanzees, a sudden storm descended. They took shelter together under the trees before traveling back home. As the clouds cleared, Jane and the chimpanzees stood on a ridge that overlooked the forest. In this moment, Jane felt an overwhelming sense of wholeness and spiritual connection. Writing, "It seemed to me, as I struggled afterwards to recall the experience, that self utterly disappeared. I and the chimpanzees, the earth and the trees and the air seemed to merge and become one with the spirit of life." There have been times when I have been blessed and fortunate to have such experiences that cause me to realize of a truth, this exists if only we will open ourselves and be receptive to it. There's another person that I did want to bring into this, and that's Viktor Frankl. He was an influential Austrian psychiatrist, and he survived the Holocaust. But across the 3 years in concentration camps, his entire family was exterminated. In A Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl writes of an experience of awe during the lonely period after the war. One day, a few days after the liberation, I walked through the country, past flowering meadows for miles and miles, toward the market town near the camp. Larks rose up in the sky, and I could hear their joyous song. There was no one to be seen for miles. The only thing was the wide earth and sky and the larks' jubilation and the freedom of space. I stopped. I looked around. I looked up to the sky. And then I went down on my knees. At that moment, There was very little I knew of myself or the world. I had but one sentence in my mind, often the same. I called to the Lord in my narrow prison, and he answered me from the freedom of space. How long I knelt there and repeated the sentence, memory can no longer recall. But I know that on that day, in that hour, my new life started. Step for step, I progressed until, again, I became a human being. Awe can be as a lightning bolt that marks in memory those moments when the doors of perception are cleansed and we see with startling clarity what is truly important in life. Moments of awe may be the most important transformative experiences of life. Emerson said, the invariable mark of wisdom is to see the miraculous in the common. Wonder includes the capacity to be in awe of humanity, even your own. It allows us to jettison the dangerous belief that the only thing worthy of wonder can be only located on nature hikes and scenic overlooks. Because you see, this can distract us from the beauty flowing from and through us daily. For every second that our organs and bones sustain us is a miracle. When those bones heal, when the wounds scab over, that is our call to marvel at our bodies. Their regeneration, their stability or frailty, all included. This grows our sense of dignity. To be able to marvel at the face of our neighbor with the same awe that we have for the mountaintop, the sun refracting. This manner of vision will be what keeps us from destroying each other. Wonder requires a person not to forget themselves, but to feel themselves so acutely. Their connectedness to every created thing comes into focus. In sacred awe, we are a part of the story. So, get it now. Practicing awe is a skill, just like everything else. Wherever you are, there is your awe. You just have to open your eyes and your mind to see it. See that out there that just looks to be so common? If you look again, you might find yourself experiencing awe. Look in your hand. Open your eyes, open your mind, and you can see it. Thank you for your attention.